Welcome back to the shop. So you guys have been asking me, hey, I own a small Seiko manual machine. How do I keep my portafilter clean? In this video, we're going to do a rebuild of this Seiko pressurized portafilter. Those of you with keen observational skills are going to immediately recognize there's some mechanism involved here. We're going to check that out. So if you own a Seiko Aroma, Seiko Via Venezia, Starbucks Barista, or Seiko Poemia, or a similar machine, you're likely going to have one of these. It's great to know how to take it apart and clean it. The only tool that we're going to need is Phillips number 2 screwdriver. So let's jump right in there. This thing's probably seen about maybe a year or so of use, and we're going to fit it with some new gaskets and a new filter holder assembly. So we're going to pop 3 screws off. Notice that they have little shoes on them. This enables the mechanism to continue to slide even when the screws are in, so don't lose those. Two and 3. Lift it up, and we will have exposed the mechanism assembly. Now this one's got a little bit of crud on here as it's been working away for a while. Everything in here is pretty easy. You just got to pay attention to a couple things. These springs are really easy to lose. There's another one right here. We're going to be changing this whole assembly here, so we'll show you how to take care of those. Pop the basket out the other side. Remove the springs. As you can see, it's fitted on this post right here. I pull that off. Now that we've taken off the springs, it's opened up this valve assembly here. This pin is what builds up the pressure in that hole. And at about 30 pounds of pressure, it's supposed to defeat the spring and allow the espresso to pour through. So the whole idea behind this valve is that it contributes to the creation of crema for customers who maybe their grinder can't achieve a fine enough grind size for a proper espresso extraction. This will make up the difference. So we're going to replace this. Now Seiko calls them pressurized filter pin support assembly. We're just going to call it the portafilter valve. Here's what the new ones look like. Nice and white. So the old one we're going to pop off here. We'll just pry it up a little bit. You're going to notice that there's a retaining spring on the bottom, and what we'd like to do is take this retaining spring off and put it on the new one. So for now we're just going to take it off, and we're going to lay out all the components here. We're going to totally tear this thing down. So there's our old valve, the springs. So we've got the portafilter head here. We're going to push through to eject the lower plate here. Now this gasket is also pretty worn out. We're going to replace this as well. It's probably still got some life in it here, but we might as well do the job right. So here you can see all of your elements for the portafilter. We're going to pause the video and take a moment, and we're going to go give these things a good clean up so everything's nice and clean and shiny for the rebuild here. So hang on for just a second and we will be right back. So welcome back. We've given everything a nice clean off here. The spout handle assembly, nice and clean. So the first thing to do is to install the new gasket on the lower support. These can be replaced as well. This one's still got lots of life left in it. Sometimes you notice they'll be cracked radially. They're cheap, easy to replace. For now we'll use this one. So we're going to put a fresh gasket on here. Notice the gasket is directional. The groove inside that seats the lower plate, there's a large side and a small side. What we want is the large side facing up. So in this orientation we have the large side on the top of this lower plate. So I'm just going to slide that guy in there, carefully seat it all around. And to help this slip inside, I'm actually going to take just a tiny spot of mineral oil, just because this fresh rubber can be a little bit sticky. and coat the edges of it here, ensuring easy entry, if you know what I mean. So tapping that down, making sure to see that it's evenly situated all the way around. Looks good. So our next goal is going to be fit the valve assembly onto this post here. To do that, we're going to be aided by a little stand. I've taken a ratchet bit here, and it's going to sit on here to have this post pushed up all the time. If I don't, I try to push down on this and it just sinks in there. So we make a little table out of a ratchet bit. She's ready to go. The new valve is going to have to be fitted with this retaining spring. Of all the steps, this is probably going to be the most tricky. You're going to notice two posts here. Also, the retaining spring has an arm that goes up. So this will be facing towards the top of the valve assembly. The other side hooks onto this post, and then with a little bit of pressure you can hook it around the other one here, and that's all there is to it. Now this is loaded with tension, and that's the tension that's going to keep it situated inside. If I look at the side profile here, you can see that this post is a little bit deeper. It's actually going to key into this hole here, and this is to maintain the correct orientation of the valve. So I'm going to set this down on our little table. I'm going to orient the filter or the valve so that this post enters into that keyhole. Doesn't matter if this is where this is at this point here. So this post to that keyhole. Now this is just a little bit of pressure needs to be exerted here, and I try to exert the pressure on to the valve lower plate. Should we get it? Oh, we're slightly off. There we go. We hear a satisfying click, and we're locked on and in place. Next, we're going to want to return the springs. Okay, so this spring, you'll notice that there's a post here and a post here. I'll try to get this to focus here for you. The loop goes on the post to the right, and then this arm of the spring hooks on to that little inset there, and you can see the action result by it. The next spring is easy to drop. It just goes on the top there, and here we have our two springs that work together to create the valve action that admits your pressurized espresso to flow. Go back to our base. There is a single orientation that will work here, so we got to make note that the handle of the portafilter is at the hinge side of this valve. Drop it down straight, and you should feel right away the spring action. If you don't have that spring action, something's wrong. At this point, it's just a simple matter to return our screws in there with the little shoes on them. One, two, and three. See our nice fresh set gasket here. This actually binds with the bottom edge of this filter basket here. That's what creates the pressure seal. When this clamps into the portafilter, pushes down this basket by that small amount into this seal and creates a lock. You always want to hold this one up to the light and make sure you can see through all these holes here. You want it 100% clean, no clogging. If not, give it a good soak. You can always buy a replacement basket. They're about $10. So that's it, people. This is how you rebuild your Seiko pressurized portafilter. Stay tuned for more videos.